we still have a gap on a weekly chart at $24,000. Bitcoin will keep the upward trend and reach the price of $50,000. The main bonus for Bitcoin that could stop the price drop and make it surge is... Welcome to the Coin Post. Bitcoin plummeted 20% of the current high. In an instant, the price dropped to $33,500. And the dynamics show that while making this video, the price could go even lower. Well, Bitcoin is dropping, so what do we do? Where do we turn, and who's to blame? Let's figure out it all right now. Give this video a thumbs up so that Bitcoin gets back to rising, and let's start. Well, the good news is the correction could have stopped by now. In my recent video, I showed that on the monthly Bitcoin futures chart on the Chicago Commodity Exchange, there was a massive gap. This is the chart from that video. And now let's have a look at the current picture. We can see that the gap is completely closed now, but we still have a gap on a weekly chart at $24,000. And if you take a daily chart, we see two closed gaps, the first one at $24,000 and the second one at $18,500. As you know, the price of Bitcoin doesn't have to close these gaps, but very often it does. So that's why I give them in this video. Let's find out if the price is supposed to drop that low. Bloomberg intelligent analyst Mike McGlone believes that Bitcoin will keep the upward trend and reach the price of $50,000. This would play an important role in its acceptance, because then the market cap of the first cryptocurrency would reach $1 trillion. I noticed it's popular nowadays to write something like Bitcoin market cap exceeded Visa's or some other famous company. This is interesting, but in fact, it means absolutely nothing. Because you shouldn't compare Bitcoin to companies, but to their financial assets, and the main competitor here is gold. If Bitcoin achieved capitalization of $1 trillion, we could raise the question of it being an international financial asset. And as Bloomberg's analyst points out, the growth of the first cryptocurrency is supported not only by institutional money, but also by removing regulatory risks. His understanding is that Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that is not backed up by a company, so there will be no issues like XRP. But the future of altcoins in this light seems completely incomprehensible. However, the same report says that before reaching $50,000, there could be a big temporary correction, and it's the one that could be happening right now. I showed you these charts before saying that during active growth, Bitcoin has a big 30 to 40% drop. Meanwhile, the fall could last several weeks. The first one is the most difficult one, when at some point the price may drop 20% or more. And if we keep analyzing bad scenarios for the Bitcoin price, then after surging by 120% in just 4 weeks since mid-December last year, a possible 40% correction does make sense. It miraculously matches the 24,000 that will allow it to close the gap on CME. And I'm not ruling out that we could see a short squeeze below $20,000. The chances are quite low, I mean it's almost impossible, because such a price of Bitcoin would attract a lot of new buyers. But in theory, there had been an opportunity to buy cheap Bitcoin after hitting an all-time high of the previous cycle. This time, there was no such a chance. Just in case, it's not a financial recommendation, and I don't recommend anyone going short or sitting on a fence and waiting to buy cheap Bitcoin. What I'm doing is I'm analyzing the current situation and saying that, in my personal understanding, the current Bitcoin correction may continue. But what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna give you arguments that indicate that the market could make a U-turn at any moment and surge again. And if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. We've got a lot of fascinating stuff here. To talk about the possible growth, we should start with some unpleasant and quite weird news. Grayscale Investments head Barry Silbert has resigned. He remained the head of the parent company Digital Currency Group, and the official reason for the transfer of power is that he intends to develop new financial directions. though it's still unclear what other financial instruments are more attractive than cryptocurrencies now. And the way I see it, Barry Silbert decided he couldn't be too careful in case the American regulator kept tightening the screws. The trial against Ripple, as well as the investigations against Bitfinex and BitMEX, may have frightened many of you, because the SEC has no questions specifically about Bitcoin, but about a crypto fund that sells its shares secured by cryptocurrency. That's why Barry Silbert could have taken precautions not to get in the middle of it. What is disturbing is that if such people fear problems with the authorities, they may therefore arise, and the market will be hit hard. But let's not push things forward, because there's good news too. The popularity of Bitcoin in Google Trends began to repeat the dynamics of late 2017. The FOMO flywheel begins to spin, and this will help to keep the price. Even those who know little about Bitcoin know that it's highly volatile, and the best part is, nobody cares to stop it. Besides, banks also started to enter the market. I mean, they always do it in their own way, but above all, they do it. For example, Morgan Stanley bought almost 11% of MicroStrategy shares, which previously invested over $1 billion into Bitcoin. And if Coinbase keeps its word and gets on IPO, there is a good chance that big investment banks will take part in it too. And now, the main bonus for Bitcoin that could stop the price drop and make it surge is the Fed money printing machine. The laws on the second relief package are coming into effect, which means new helicopter money for Americans that they can use to buy cryptocurrency. In addition, after the Senate by-election, the Democrats gained a majority with a decisive vote of the vice president. On January the 20th starts the blue wave, with the president and both houses of Congress under the control of the Democratic Party. They are already promising extra economic support measures, and markets are looking forward to new trillions of printed dollars. So Bitcoin may be falling right now, but fundamentally, it has it all figured out, and we can expect new highs soon. We will grow as quickly as the number of subscribers on my channel, for which I'm very grateful to you all. Subscribe to the channel, please. You can also support us with your likes and shares with those who are totally confused with the current Bitcoin crash. And that would be it for today. Thanks for watching. It's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.